The image I've chosen for my war photograph presentation is Robert Capa's D-Day photograph on Omaha Beach. This image was taken during World War II. Japan's bombing of Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941 forced the U.S. into the conflict as a member of the Allied powers, which included the U.S., Great Britain, the Soviet Union, France, and China. The Allies were fighting to suppress the expansion of the Axis powers of Germany, Italy, and Japan. The war was being fought on two fronts, the European and Pacific theaters. Intense fighting pushed back the Axis powers, and a final assault on northern France was planned to strike at the heart of the Axis powers and put an end to the war. The beaches of Normandy were chosen as the attack point, and June 6, 1944 was chosen as the day of the invasion. Robert Capa, a contract photographer for Life magazine, was chosen as the photographer to join the troops and document the invasion. Capa was considered the greatest war photographer ever by many of his contemporaries for his work in just about every major conflict up to that point. Capa already took one of the most famous war images, Falling Soldier, from the Spanish Civil War of 1936 to 1939. Capa had the skill necessary to blend into the war effort and capture images that showed the soldier's point of view in combat, as well as show the human cost of war. Capa's images taken during the D-Day invasion show the soldiers' struggles on the beaches of Normandy. The Omaha Beach photograph is one of 11 surviving photographs taken by Capa over the 90-minute period that he was on the beach. The photograph shows U.S. soldier Private First Class Houston Riley crawling along the beach toward the shoreline in the surf and the muck. PFC Riley had dropped in behind Capa after his craft had been shelled. Riley was hit by machine gun fire repeatedly as he tried to move along the beach. It took him 30 minutes to make his way from his craft to the point where Capa photographed him. Even in the blurry image, you can see the determination and fear in Riley's face. Capa's image is most notably famous for the movement present in the photograph. The jarring and frenetic nature of the photograph imbues it with a sense of chaos and despair of the situation. The blurriness of PFC Riley and the surrounding objects was both intentional and accidental. Capa noted the shaking of his hands contributed to the blurry movement of the photograph. The accidental nature of the blurriness stemmed from the development of the film by the London offices of Life magazine. Under incredibly tight deadlines, the developer, Dennis Banks, rushed the development and applied too much heat, melting the emulsion of all but 11 of the 106 pictures taken. You get a sense of the incredible metaphorical weight on PFC Riley from the way the image is balanced. PFC Riley is placed low in the frame with all the dark steel barriers above him, weighing down on him, providing both a physical barrier and safety. The empty space of the surf that surrounds PFC Riley also adds to the sense of isolation and loneliness. Tonal range also plays an important role to point the viewer's eye to PFC Riley. The surrounding surf and water is white to light gray and perfectly highlights the dark grays and blacks of PFC Riley. The image, along with the 10 other pictures, were published days later in Life magazine for all the world to see. Capa's 4 rolls of film were rushed back, along with the photographer himself, across the channel to Life's London offices. John Morris, Life's photo editor, ordered a rush on the development and disbursement of the photos across Great Britain and to the U.S. The photograph was used to put a human face on the invasion and show the public what the soldiers were going through in the war effort. The emotional response was one of sympathy and horror. Sympathy for the plight of the soldiers and horror at the atrocities of war. As with all war images, drumming up patriotism and support for the war effort was on the mind of the publishers and government. D-Day Omaha Beach is considered to be one of the most powerful war images ever taken. According to John Morris, Life photo editor, the photograph humanized the invasion and the soldiers and added a human connection for the readers. The photograph symbolizes courage under fire and group and individual heroism. D-Day is an icon of its time since it is the only visual record of the Normandy invasion and the perseverance of the Allied powers to end the war. The power of the photograph is second to none. Consider D-Day Omaha Beach next to Kappa's other famous photograph, Falling Soldier. Falling Soldier, while a powerful image in its own right, pales in comparison to D-Day. Falling Soldier shows a single soldier falling in combat in a much smaller scale conflict, the Spanish Civil War. D-Day shows an individual soldier in a moment of courage and despair as part of a global conflict with the weight of the entire world in the balance. Falling Soldier is about the cost of war. D-Day is about the indefatigable human spirit in the face of impossible odds. D-Day Omaha Beach stands as one of the most iconic photos of World War II and of all time.